Hey guys, welcome back to another video with me, Cynthia, Unapologetic Cynthia. Today I wanted to make this video. Um, it's not a random video, but it's a video about myself. And for the ladies that are having a hard time dealing with day-to-day life, as far as when I say aging, I don't mean that aging is a bad thing. I mean that I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I will get those feelings that because I'm my age, which okay, so let's start here because I'm not ashamed. I am 48 years old. I will be 49 this year in September. Yep. My daughter is, she's almost 25 and my son is almost 32. I was a young mother. I had my son when he was 16. How I had my son when he was 16? See? That's that brain fog. So let me bring it back. I had my son when I was 16. Okay? All right. So, yeah, and that's when my life really, 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 really began. Oh, did it ever begin? When I had my son, I promised that I would be the mother to my son that my mom wasn't to me. And it's just one of those things that you want to do when you have children, especially if you come from a background where your upbringing was not the best, and everything in between. So that's one of the things that I promised myself. I wanted to dot every I. I wanted to cross every T because I did not want to take him through what I went through as a child. So that's when my life began. I wanted to make sure I had money. I wanted to make sure I had everything I needed to take care of him. And especially when you have children by a man, or a man that pretends that they're going to be there and they're not showing up a man, So I was dependent on myself, and I'm not ashamed about it. Now, let me tell you something. I, here on this YouTube platform, this is the most vulnerable I've ever been in my entire life. I would have never gotten on here and told anybody any of my business. I wouldn't have. But if you don't know, when you hear people say, or even if you know for yourself, when God has a plan for your life, He's going to make sure that it's the way He wants it, not the way you want it. Because He's the author of our story. He's the beginning and He's the end. So no matter what I wanted to do or how I wanted to do it, I belong to Him. And so I went through life trying to figure out how I was going to do this or how I was going to do that. I was always thinking of the next thing to do to make sure I didn't have to depend on nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I had my son, God showed up so many ways in my life, because even though I didn't have a great upbringing, I did have my mom and my sister, as far as babysitting, like when I would work. Now, I did have that. And my son's grandparents on his father's side, they were like the angels that God sent to me, and what I couldn't do, they did. Even when I could do, they still did. So I couldn't take that from them. I would never do that. But his father, is another story, and that's another story for another video. So yeah, I was doing everything I could to try to, to maintain. Was it hard? Oh yes, it was hard. Many times I left home because I was ready to leave. I was ready to leave home. Several times, but this time I really wanted to leave home. And when I when I made up my mind, I was ready to leave. I wanted to be on my own. There were times where I had to come back home because it got hard, and especially when you're trying to do it by yourself. So I kept trying, I kept trying. And the last time that I tried it, I said, I'm not going back home. You can never say what you won't do. I'm not going back home. One thing I can say about my mom is that whenever I needed to come back home, she allowed me to. She allowed me to come back home. She never told me no. Even though we didn't have the best relationship, she never told me no, that I couldn't. So I'm forever grateful for that. And so as life went on and up to the day, you feel like you done did so much in your life that it's too late. Look, you done did what you had to do, or you done too much, and it's too late for you. That's what the enemy wants you to believe. Well, he wanted me to believe it. And he was doing a good job at first. But then I had to say, no way. I am not going to let you take that from me. Because what God brought me through, where he put me through, and where he brought me through was all him. Yeah, some things I did, as far as relationship-wise, I put myself in relationships with men that I shouldn't have been in because they weren't worthy of me in the first place. So he even made those learning experiences for me. So I can't say that was all bad. He turned it around for good. What I learned in those bad relationships was what I know now in my everyday life. It taught me what I didn't want in my marriage. If I ever get married again. So it wasn't a bad thing. So no, it's not too late. Which is why I started this YouTube channel. It had been one of those things that had been nudging me and nudging me and nudging me. You're nudging me, I'm like, okay. I keep asking people to do it with me. I wanted my daughter to do it with me. I wanted a past boyfriend to do it with me. And I'm like, okay. And I asked one of my old friends to do YouTube with me. Nobody wanted to do it. They were afraid of the camera or afraid of the public, if you will. And I get it. But as time progressed, something hit me like a ton of bricks one day. Why do you need anybody to help you start this YouTube channel? What you went through, they didn't go through. You went through it. So they can't tell your story. They can't tell you the things that you journeyed through. They don't know your wisdom. They don't know your knowledge of your journey. So when that happened, I couldn't deny it. It was nobody but God. It was nobody but God that put that on the inside of me. So I'm able to share it with you. I'm telling you, if anybody had told me a year ago that I would be doing this, I wouldn't believe it. And you might would tell me that doesn't mean I would believe it, But here I am. Here I am telling you about the things that I've gone through. So don't ever believe that or think that it's too late for you, wherever you are in your life. If you are still breathing, if you are still alive, you're here. You're still here for a reason. It may not feel good every day because Lord knows what I went through did not feel good. Most of the stuff I went through didn't feel good. But I tried my best to remain positive because let me tell you, honey, I don't look like what I've been through. You hear me? No, I wasn't beaten. I wasn't abused in any relationship. As far as men, I wasn't out in the street on drugs. I wasn't, not that. Not that. And that what I just said are stories for other videos. If you stay tuned, you'll see just what I mean. The brokenness come from my upbringing, from being like raised by a single mom. My dad was never around. So broken, that can feel just as worse as being beaten, physically abused, tortured, everything, because that's what those things do to you if you had a rough upbringing. And even to this day, I still struggle with those things, but I have acknowledged a lot of things in my upbringing. another video for another day. And I'm just starting this channel, so of course I'm gonna share with you. I'm not gonna pretend here, because I'm not a pretender. There is no way that I could come to this platform and share the things that God wants me to share and make them up. That's not even possible. Not for me, it's not. It's not even possible. So it's not too late. So whatever you want to do, whatever you feel you can do, try it. Give it some energy, give it some time, give it some thought, pray about it. Don't just sit back and keep thinking about it. Go ahead and do it. Like I had to. I'm like, okay, I want to start my own business. I wanted to do catering because I love to cook. I can cook. I'm a great cook. I get tired of cooking because I've done it for so long, it has become boring. But I wanted to do it to like make it good for events like weddings or parties or brunches. I wanted to do that because I love to make things pretty. And I know I could do it. I wanted to be a published author, and that is gonna come true. I'm working on that as we speak. I wanted to be a counselor. I wanted to be a mentor. I wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to be so many things. I wanted to do all of that. And in wanting to do all of that, I'm like, man, you got to have money to do those things. Yeah. Unless you are in tune, and unless somebody is going to give you that money. And oftentimes we know people that don't give money just like that. And then on top of that, I wasn't the type of person that would even ask. You know what I'm saying? Oh, another video for another day. When I tell you God has truly worked on me and he's still working on me, he truly is. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that he kept his hands on me. Because I could have been out there just like the next person, strung out on drugs, abandoning my kids, not being able to be a grandmother to my grandkids. I could have been out there doing all of that, but he kept his hands on me. Do I look down on people that are on drugs or out there in the streets? No, I do not. No, I do not. It hurts me to the core of my being. I have family members that are close to me that have been out there like that. So, no, I don't look down on them. These are the ones I draw closer to. These are the people that I love on. I want to love on everybody. And that's not something that I can't do. I can, even when it's not reciprocated back to me. I don't look down on people like that. And for those that do look down on people like that, you better be careful, because it could have been you. It could have been you. It could have been me. So if you are one of those people, ask God to forgive you. Ask him to create in you a clean heart and renew the right spirit within you. He's a forgiving God. And so, yeah, the moral of this story is it's not too late for you to do anything. When God see you trying, he see your efforts. Granted, that is not the thing that you set out to do, but he wants to know that you will do something effortlessly. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to show your efforts, that you are trying to do something. And even though it might not be what you planned, he'll make it something good. Something that you probably never knew that you wanted to do or was going to do. Like me and this YouTube channel. I love people. I want to help people the best way I know how. And what better way for me to help people and show my love so it can reach whoever it needs to reach on this platform. This will go somewhere. I don't know where, but it'll go somewhere. And it makes my soul happy. I go to sleep at night being happy. This makes me happy. It makes me happy. So no, it's not too late, okay? So I'm going to end this video while I go dry my eyes. You see my eyes all watery. I get very emotional when I talk about people. So stay tuned for the next video. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one, okay?